We'll just get started right on time. With that being said, I apologize in advance. You probably can hear it a little stuff. And if any of you are dealing with any stuff it is, allergies, with all the changes, hang in there. Hang in there. I want to remind everyone, thanks to the good team here, we have a breakfast club in the morning where you're welcome to join. And it's around 8:05, and they have different leadership topics that they discuss. And please feel free to come to that if you would like to. And it's open to any member of our division. And we just welcome you. And usually, along with the team, there's usually Dr. Jordan and I sometimes try to get there. And we'd like to hear any questions you have. With that being said, we start off by introducing any new member of our division. If you're working within one of our departments, we'd like for you to stand up if you've been hired and you hadn't had a chance to be introduced in our all-staff meeting. Would you mind please standing at this time? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, first of all, let's give a big hand welcome to Worship. And so what we like to do is we're going to ask you to introduce yourself, tell us your name, and what department you're working in, how long since you started, but where did you come from as well. And we'll just start right here and go around the room.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sammy Edwards, new Assistant Director for Communications. I come from right outside of Orlando, sunny Florida. Thank you. From sunny Florida, Seminole State College of Florida, and I am the new Assistant Director for Communications, as I stated, on the call center.
Hello everyone, my name is Taylor Eubanks. I'm a graduate student in the College Student Affairs program, but my assistantship is in our first year academic programs office, so on the academic affairs side of things, but I'm doing my practicum in the new student programs office.
So we welcome each of you to the family, and going around the room was pretty quick this time. And with the critical hire process, I tell you, we're celebrating every new hire we can get. Well, with that being said, welcome to all of you, and good morning to you. In February, getting ready for that special love day coming up in a few days. Hang in there, Valentine's, right? And for me, it's pretty cool, especially my mom's birthday is on Valentine's Day. So I picked her up from Texas. She's up here with me. We're going to cook a little cake and do a little celebrate. So I hope all of you have a great week. And let's turn it over to the team.
You guys also have little notes on each of your tables. Thanks to Ashley Vickers, the Graduate Assistant for Financial Aid, printed them out. So since we do have Valentine's Day coming up, you guys can tell people that they remind you of bacon and how much you love them, or what a good friend they've been to you. So they're really cute. There's 4 different themes. Thanks again, Ashley. And then we will do our first speaker today, Gina, to talk to us about the wellness program.
Great, thank you. I want everybody to stand up, please. So, this is the wellness program. I know you're going to be sitting a long time, so I want everybody to take a big stretch up, big deep breath, and blow it out. One more. Blow it out. All right, now sit down because, I need to get my little thing. I want you to put on your speed reading glasses because we're going to do an hour-long presentation in less than 15 minutes because that's all we're going to have to do this. But I want to introduce myself first. I'm Gina Brandenberg. I'm an instructor in health and community wellness. And I'm also the liaison with Usg Well-Being and the co-chair for the Wolf Wellness committee here. So I've been involved with wellness for many, many years of my career. Came here about 3 years ago. I love this and really want to get all of you involved. So here we go. You ready? Got your speed reading glasses on? Okay. So we're going to talk just about Usg Well-Being, and I hope all of you have seen the emails, but I know people just sort of go, I'll read that later, right? So I'm going to give a really quick overview of what is in store for 2023 Usg Well-Being. So we also always involve our students. So I have a student here today. I teach a worksite wellness class, and they're learning how to do a lot of this worksite wellness. So some of you may have students who contacted you to do some wellness things in your departments. Raise your hand if you do. We got one. So we're really excited about that, and JJ too. So our goal for the University of West Georgia is to get 55% participation in the Usg Well-Being program. Last year we got 49%, so they raised our goal, so we need to get 55% this year. Well, Farrah Williams, who is the Usg manager, came to my worksite wellness class and gave that class a goal of getting 225 people to register in the new program by the end of the semester. So if you guys all do it today, they reach their goal and Sarah gets credit for it, right? How many of you are going to do that? Raise your hand. So you can help us today if you register for that. But there is a new platform. So if any of you participated last year, it was Red Drift Health. That is no longer the vendor, so they switched to Virgin Pulse. So you need to create a new name and a new username and a new password for that particular program. So that's just one thing, and there are handouts on your table too to tell you how to do that. Those of you who are enrolled in the healthcare have a number of earning opportunities. Who wants $100? All right, you can earn $100. Who has a spouse that's also enrolled that wants to earn $100? Okay, so you can earn up to $200. Obviously, you can't read this, and I can pass this PowerPoint presentation along to whoever wants it. Just let me know. But there are numerous opportunities. I'm going to flip through in those speed reading classes. I'll tell you how to do that. So if you are not enrolled in healthcare, you're still eligible to participate if you are eligible to enroll in the healthcare programs, but maybe you have it through your spouse. So you won't get the money, but you will get prizes. So each month, there's prize drawings for people who are healthcare eligible, and you may get a prize from USG if you participate in these programs. So, again, to get started, you will earn your money between January 1st and September 30th. So they're working on doing that a year-round thing, but right now it's still, you have to do all the different activities by September 30th to earn your $100. It's really easy sign up on Virgin Pulse. You go through your USG single sign-on, and again, you have a piece of paper there that explains it in more detail. But I'm going to go through really quick again and tell you some of the ways that you can do this. You can earn $25 for taking a very simple health assessment, $15 for tracking your activity, $10 just for connecting your device. How many of you wear wearable technology that you can? One? JJ, the only one. Come on, this audience participation. Okay, so if you connect your device to the site, it will automatically track your steps, and you can earn $15 just for connecting, or $10 just for connecting it. $25 for doing digital coaching, $15 for phone coaching. So if you have any type of issue that you'd like to talk to anybody about, you can call a phone coach. If you have diabetes or are a tobacco user, there's specific coaching for that. If you're an Anthem participant, there's a lot of different chronic diseases that you can have a health coach, registered dietitian, a physician, a lot of very educated people that can help you through that. Financial coaching. How many of you are ready for retirement? A few of you, okay, so make sure that you are, because we have a lot of financial coaching opportunities both here on campus and online, and you can get money for going through those. You can also, how many of you volunteer ever? Oh, come on, more than that, right? If somebody volunteers, you give blood, you work for your church, you volunteer in some type of program. You can earn $15 just for doing that, and that's self-report. You don't have to prove anything. How many of you got your flu shots? Okay, so $25 for getting your flu shot. Money Monday, they have every, I think it's the first Monday of the month. You can listen into those and earn money for that. Well-Being Wednesday, these are webinars. Sometimes they're hosted here on campus, and sometimes they're, you can just listen in on those, so you can get money for that. Different challenges. Have any of you ever participated in one of the challenges that we've done? One, JJ's the only one who does anything in this department, right? Okay, so different challenges that are going on throughout the year, you can earn money for that. Adding your friends, you get $5 just for telling your friends to go ahead and do it. You can track healthy habits. So if you're tracking that you exercise every day, that you're happy every day, or that you ate breakfast, you can get money just for tracking that. They have daily cards, which are like really short informational things that you can just read every day. And if you read those, you can make $5. Okay, so I told you I was going fast. How much time do I have, Sarah? She's supposed to be 10 minutes, okay. So I wanted to go through a little bit of the other benefits that are available through Usg Well-Being. One is KeepRo. Now, KeepRo is our employee assistance program. They switched from what it was last year now, but now this year it's KeepRo. And this is so that you can use for any type of personal challenges. The stories that they tell us about people who use KeepRo for not necessarily marriage counseling or any kind of issues, but you can also use them as sort of your personal concierge. So if you need a mobile pet groomer, you can call them and they will find people who are vetted in your area and give those to you. So we're busy, you can just call them and say, hey, I need a plumber, I need a vet to come to my house. They can help facilitate that and save some time and energy for you. But of course, if you have any kind of issues with your children, with your marriage, any of those kinds of things, that is a free service. Now, guess how many people in this university used our employee assistance program a year ago? Any guesses? Throw out a number. 9 people. 9 people, not percent. So that's not very high, and we're paying for that. So use this service. It's a great service, very, very helpful. So please use this if you need it. Like I said, a wide variety of things. If you need legal assistance, we had somebody in our office that was having some issues with her landlord. She called them, and they were able to help her figure out what it is that she needed to do for that. Adoption, pet service referrals, like I mentioned, just many, many things that they can help you with. They also have a new service called Live Health Online. Has anybody done any kind of live health? So what it really is helpful if you are a busy person, you don't have time to go to the doctor, or you call your doctor because you have a cold and they say, well, the only appointment I have is in 3 weeks, right? So that's not going to help. So you can call Live Health Online, and new this year you get 3 free visits through that if you're enrolled in that healthcare plan. But if you just have a sore throat, you just don't feel good, need a prescription, you can call them and they will talk to you over the phone and write you a prescription. Farah told us a story of she was on vacation and got bit by red ants and her foot started swelling, and she's in Florida, so she couldn't go to her primary care doctor. She called them, flipped the phone video thing on, showed the doctor her swelling foot. He called a prescription into the closest pharmacy to her, and she was on her way to vacation. So use it for things like that. They also have Live Health Online with licensed therapists. And both of these live health things are much less expensive than going to your doctor, so you really save money on your health care. And then we have the retail health clinics like CVS. Those, again, are a lot less expensive than going to your doctor, going to urgent care, or going to the emergency department. We also want to make sure that everybody has a primary care physician. This is really important, and just a reminder that you get that one wellness visit every year to do your cholesterol and your blood pressure and things like that, so that they get a baseline of where you are in your health. So then when you're sick, they have an idea of what's going on with you. So it's really important to do that. And a very low percentage of employees here actually take advantage of that. They're also new with some Benefits 101 videos that you can take a look at. I wanted to talk today about the Appalachian Trail Challenge. So there's a challenge that just started this week. It's a step challenge, and there's some information here on your tables. But we want everybody to join a team. Team is between 2 and 10 people, and you track your steps. And we want to bring the traveling trophy to the University of West Georgia. Who wants to do that? Right now, it's Dalton State has it. And yeah, we want to bring it to the University of West Georgia, which means we got to get teams and we've got to get people stepping. So again, it runs February 10th through March 23rd. You can backlog your steps for 2 weeks. So if you join now or join next week, you can backlog those steps from Monday when it started. Team scores are based on the total team steps, and the total is 30,000 per day. So if you get a lot of people who are doing a lot of steps, we can really win this challenge. So we want you to do that. We're going to have a little kickoff event on Wednesday, rain or shine. I checked with the Coliseum, and the Coliseum is available, so if it's raining and nasty like it has been this entire month, we can walk in the Coliseum. But otherwise, we will meet at 12:30 by the UCC fountain. We have an employee. Anybody know Mike Brooks? You probably know him as the move crew superintendent, right? Everybody's had stuff moved. He has walked a good part of the Appalachian Trail. So he is going to come and talk to us a little bit about his experience with that. And then we'll just walk for a mile and go back to work. But we really want people to participate in this, so please join us with that. Now I want to introduce Sarah Gross. As I mentioned, we involve our students in everything with experiential learning that we can. So Sarah is one of the students in my Worksite Wellness class, and Sarah is the top student at the University of West Georgia. She was recognized at the Board of Regents meeting yesterday. So she's going to tell you about the Wolf Wellness Lab and some of the services that they have there.
Hi, like Ms. Brandenberg said, my name is Sarah. I'm the number one student at West Georgia. This is great. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that I have that honor. I work in the Wolf Wellness Lab. I'm also a health and community wellness senior, so I'll graduate in May. But I'm a certified health coach. So in addition to health coaching, the Wolf Wellness Lab, you have a paper with all this information on it too, and contact information if you want to schedule an appointment. But we do biometric screening, so body composition, body intensity, cholesterol testing, exercise medicine on campus. It's also something really cool. This is only for students. We have first aid CPR, AAP certification, health and wellness coaching. So again, I'm an A certified health coach, so I work with faculty, staff, and a few students working on any dimension of wellness. So whether that's mindfulness, mental and emotional wellness, nutrition, physical activity, whatever it may be. Campus and community wellness education, so different workshops and things like diabetes prevention program, nutrition education. We have the cooking car and the smoothie bike. If you've ever been in there and seen it, it's a lot of fun. And then high performance leadership training. So training offered in 4 different distinct areas, which is peak performance coaching, leadership development, team dynamics, and stress management. Again, this is how you can contact the lab if you want to schedule an appointment. And then coming up here soon, what you can look forward to in the lab is Way to Go. So this is the diabetes prevention program that's going to start in the lab this semester, coming in April. Again, this is a CDC recognized lifestyle change program to prevent against diabetes. So you'll get a full year of support and learn how to eat healthy, incorporate physical activity to your routine, manage stress, stay motivated, and solve problems that can get in the way of your goals. It's proven to prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Participants who lost 5 to 7% of their body weight and added up to 150 minutes of exercise per week cut their risk of developing type 2 diabetes by up to 58%. And again, just watch out for more information coming soon about that and different things we'll be offering in the lab this semester.
All right, this is going to be a great program, so watch for information for this diabetes prevention program. Is awesome. It's a year-long support program, so please, I've taught several of them over the years, and it's a great program that's coming soon. So any questions, if you have any questions from Usg Well-Being, there's the email here that you can send it straight to them, and they will answer those questions about that. If you have questions for me about what we do here on campus, or I can answer some general questions about the Usg Well-Being, my email is there. So I want to thank Sarah one more time, because I brought this up to my Worksite Wellness class and said, who wants to come and speak to about 250 people? What do you think they said? Deer in the headlights, right? Do we have to? And I was like, Sarah, do it. So Sarah wasn't there yesterday when I asked, because she was at that meeting, so I just sort of informed her that she's doing it. She said, yeah, let's do that. All right, well, I want to thank you. Any questions? We got 30 seconds. You guys did great reading, speed reading, so we thank you. And please come and visit us at the Wellness Lab. Please join a team, get onto the website and help us reach that goal of 55%.
Good morning. My name is Xavier. I work in auxiliary services. Thank you all so much for the time this morning. Sean, thank you for inviting me. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about Recyclemania, and really I want to talk to you about recycling in general. There's a lot of misinformation on our campus. We have some needs for rebranding and things like that, so I'm always excited when Recyclemania comes around because it gives us an opportunity to talk about recycling in general. So I'm going to start with a little bit of that first. How many of you all have a little blue bin in your office right now? Good, so we've got most of you guys covered. That's good to know. The important thing to know about those little blue bins is there's a rumor floating around campus that those little blue bins that are beside your desk are only for office paper. We use what's called a single stream service, okay? And what that means is we can put all of our recyclable materials into any recycling receptacle on campus, okay? So if you've got cans, put them in your little blue bin. Even if you see one of these Coke bottles out here, you know, our recycled Coke bottles, and you've got office paper, stick it in there. It's all going in the same place. It goes to our vendor called Waste Pro. What they do is they take it and they sort out and figure out what they can and can't use. So it makes it extremely simple on us. One of the negatives with that is it comes with more contamination from time to time. But really, in this case for us, when we're dealing with 13,000 students and however many faculty and staff, to make it as simple as possible, that's what we're trying to do. Recyclable materials are obviously bottles and cans. If you guys are able to rinse those out before you put them into the recycle, that helps them out at Waste Pro, reduces contamination, things like that. Office paper, cardboard, tin cans, aluminum cans like we mentioned, all those things are recyclable. We run into a lot of challenges with like food items and things like that. You know, you see pizza boxes and people honestly think they're doing the right thing by putting that pizza box in the recycling receptacle, but you see the grease and the cheese and the pepperonis and things like that in it, and that just ends up contaminating everything else. So it's important to remember to try and clean those things in our goal to be a more sustainable campus too. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the Roloffs on campus. The one you've probably seen is behind the UCC. It just looks like a big dumpster out there beside the loading dock, right? We try and hide those things so they're not easily accessible for really the general population, because that's where we end up with a lot of contamination. People just tossing their Chick-fil-A bags and things like that into those roll-offs. So for your knowledge, we've got 5 roll-offs on campus. UCC, there's one over by the SRC or the hangar gym, one behind Z6. If you guys ever feel like you need to take recycle from your department, or you just have an event, and you guys just want to run and drop it at those 3 roll-offs, those take any recyclable material that we have. We also have 2 cardboard-only roll-offs. One out at the surplus warehouse, that's probably our best hidden one there, and then we also have one behind the bookstore. You know, obviously they do a pretty good job filling up their roll-off too there. So that's just a brief, kind of overview, if you will, about recycle. We've got some rebranding we need to do on campus. And I really love opportunities like this to kind of get the message out there, because it's changed the way that we do it over time. So I want to talk a little bit about Recyclemania. Just like Gina, we've got a challenge going on right now too, so if you guys want to walk your recycle out to those roll-offs and stuff, that'd be a good way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. We've been doing Recyclemania on campus for quite a while. This is my first year actually running it. I'm very excited for the opportunity. Essentially what Recyclemania is it's a competition across all universities in North America, and all we're doing is we're trying to gather as much recycle as possible. And then, it's a competition. Whoever comes up with the best metrics per capita wins that competition. Like I said, really, I use it as an opportunity to educate people, because on our campus, we've got a long way to go from a recycle standpoint. So the competition runs from February 2nd to March 28th. So if you guys are ever, wanting to learn more about recycle and really get involved, right now is a good time to hit it pretty hard. We have a couple of events coming up that are kind of pushes, as we call them. On February 29th, we're going to be at the West Georgia basketball game. We're going to be running around in our green shirts and pushing recycle bins and things like that, and encouraging people to recycle their items, working close with athletics to put that messaging out there. That's good timing. We usually have pretty decent crowds towards the end of the season too, to help with that. And plus it's in the middle of our competition, so we're capturing a whole new group who might not have heard, hey, we're doing Recyclemania this year. My favorite one, the one that I'm looking forward to the most, is on March 26th. That is our dumpster dive, and that's exactly what it sounds like. We're going to go through some dumpsters with Hannes Gearhart, who's the director of the Sustainability Council. A couple of his classes and students are volunteering. Plenty of volunteer opportunities for that. So we're going to work with facilities to get a couple dumpsters. We're going to sift through that trash and try and pull out some recyclable materials. And really, that's an education process as well, because what we're doing is we're going up to the grassy triangle to do it, dumping out that dumpster, and then the idea is that everybody will say, hey, who are all these people crawling through the trash, and then they'll stop and ask questions, and we can educate them on recycle on campus. So those are two big events we got going on for Recyclemania. And then Camellia Chandler with housing is also helping us out with Dorm Storm, and that's probably where we're going to get the most improvement in our metrics, if you will. Is really capturing those residence halls there too. So, anytime you make it a competition, I think you guys are doing it in Greek Village too, right? Is that right? Yeah. And anytime you make it a competition, that kind of gets people a little more engaged in it too. So they put some messaging on those recycle bins, things like that. Again, just trying to get the word out there. And then there's we're working with some student organizations you've probably seen some marketing material for Cop Green Handed. We're working with student organizations who are just going around campus taking turns, and they're trying to catch people recycling, people picking trash up off the ground, anything that kind of contributes to our mission of sustainability as a campus. They're giving them a wool fee or some other kind of giveaway, water bottles, things like that too. So if you are an advisor to student organizations, or if you as a department would like to get involved with Recyclemania, just shoot me an email. One thing I encourage too is, I know people in this room recycle in their own lives too, and have plenty of ideas on recycle. So if you guys would like to bring those to me. The one thing I can't stress enough is recycle is, as a department here on our campus, is me and then 2 student assistants. And with just the volume of waste that we have on this campus, there's no way we're going to be able to capture it all. So it's really an all-inclusive process. We really need to ask you guys for your help, in your departments and things like that, and we'll get closer to our goal of being a more sustainable campus too. So the last thing I want to leave you all with, and then we'll open for some questions there, because I know I threw a lot of information at you. When you're looking at the sustainability circle, the process is reduce, reuse, recycle. So I don't want to call recycle a last resort, because it's a very important thing we do. But to really contribute to our goal of sustainability, the first thing you can do is reduce the amount of paper, plastic products that you use, right? And if you can't reduce it, try and use items that you can reuse over and over and over, right? And then of course there come times that we need to print out notes for a presentation. I've got 2 sheets right here. And then, in those times it's good to recycle there. So just remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, that's the ultimate goal. And then if there are any questions about recycle in general, or if you guys have any ideas, please feel free to get in touch with me. Like I said, we've got a long way to go, but if anybody has any questions in particular on Recyclemania right now that I can answer, please go ahead and ask.
If you're looking to recycle a lot of different kinds of things, keep Girl Beautiful on their website has a list of like tires, all of those kinds of things that you're looking to recycle. And if you go there, they can tell you what to do with it. They take a lot of things at their office.
Absolutely.
They also tell you where you can take some certain things.
And I'm glad you said that. So I just mentioned the easy things, the things that we use every day, but I know there's aerosol cans and batteries and toner cartridges. We take all that stuff, not necessarily my department. We work with risk management, and they get those through the proper channels to recycle as well. So, ask yourself first, is this something that seems like it can be recycled? Shoot me a message. I'll be able to let you know yes or no. We can find the right people to put that through. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Anything else? Well, thank you all so much for your time this morning. I appreciate it.
Good morning. Everybody doing all this morning. For some reason, I want to do this Robin Williams thing where I do good morning Vietnam kind of thing, but we'll hold off on that. I'm here to talk to you this morning about a rumor you may have heard about one login, and I want to also talk to you about the new student checklist. This is something I'm extremely excited about and passionate about. I hope you can tell that as I share this morning. And I have 10 minutes, but I got to start 5 minutes early, so maybe that gives you a little bit extra time. So the first thing I'm talking about is one login. I won't describe it in more detail, but there are forums that we had yesterday, we have today, and we have tomorrow. And many people came yesterday, about 26 yesterday, we got about 26, 27 coming today, about 14 or 15 tomorrow. And one logon, what it is an initiative to address like the new student onboarding issues. We talked with admissions, we talked with new student programs and other departments about what are the problems that we're having when students start on board at the University of West Georgia. And one of the things that we discovered was that students were really confused once they applied to the University of West Georgia and they used the recruit application. Then when they came to UWG student, they got lost in getting their UWG ID, their username and password, and getting on to the next steps. And so one login is one of the ways we're going to seek to resolve that issue. Multi-factor authentication, if you're not aware, we are required by the Board of Regents to have this in front of all our student-facing applications. And so using one login is going to help us with that initiative. It's also going to help us with our password management. Right now, for students to change their password, it is an arduous process. It's going to be much simpler with one login, and it also makes it easier for the students and employees to be able to use the resources that they need. And so some of the benefits that you'll see with one login is a single location to access all of your applications. So everything that requires a login for students and employees, you'll be able to go to this one application, see all your applications, and log in from there. It also allows us to create the students' UWG account, their account that they're going to use for the rest of their career at West Georgia, to be able to create that before they actually apply to the University of West Georgia. This will simplify this process for students as they onboard to UWG. Also, it's going to help with UWG employee onboarding. So I saw a couple new people who started at the University of West Georgia. We'll be able to leverage this to make that process easier. It'll enhance our security. And it also improves self-service for students if they have issues logging in. And this last one is an important thing. Smart MFA. How many of you get tired of having to use Duo every time you log into something? Any takers on that? Okay. First of all, Duo's going away in the next year. We're going to replace it with one login. But one login has this feature called Smart MFA. And what that means is it learns your activities. And it learns that if you log in from the same computer every day, log in with the same browser, it's like, oh, this is Dale. I don't need to ask for MFA. And it'll allow you to go in. The same thing will occur for students if they use their phones, if they use their tablets, if they use their laptops. It will, as it learns their activities, it will not prompt them from MFA. Now, there are some exceptions. One USG requires us to have MFA every time you log in. So we will have that set where it requires it. Even if you get into one login, it doesn't prompt you. When you go to one USG, it will prompt you for your MFA there. But this is an exciting piece to the new rollout of the software. This is what the login page looks like. And one of the things I want to bring attention to is the username field. You're familiar with your own username, like mine would be ddriver. If you're familiar with students, it might be ddriver1. But notice up here that JD0001. This is the new naming convention for students beginning on February 24th. So for any brand new student who starts an application at the University of West Georgia, we're going to use the first initial, last initial, and there'll be 5 digits after that. And it'll be sequential, so the first person will get 1, the second person will get 2, based on their initials. So that is something that's going to be changing. So don't be surprised if you see students' usernames start to look like that. We will not impact any existing student names. So if I'm ddriver1, I'm still going to be ddriver1 instead of that for my maternity, if you will. Notice that it says username. They can use email address to actually sign in. So I could sign in with ddriver@westguy.edu, but we are pushing everybody to use their username for simplicity's sake. That way we don't get confused. When you ask a student to use their UWG ID, what are you asking them to use? 917? Beginning of their email? Does anybody think it's their email address? All 3 have been used interchangeably, and that's why we want to go back to username, because it makes it simpler when we're communicating with students. We also have a need help section. It's in the lower right-hand corner. If a student can't remember their username, they can click look up my username, enter in their 917 number, their last name, and their birth date, and it'll tell them what their username is. Same thing can be true for faculty and staff. We also have common problems in there that we'll click a link and it'll take them exactly how to solve those problems. The forgotten password is going to make everybody's life so much easier. Because right now, if you go to the self-service utility to reset your password, it is a pain. I'm just going to say it politely. It is a pain to do that. Now, if you have your multi-factor authentication device, all you do is put your username in, say forgot my password, and then it's going to prompt your MFA, it'll ping you, you accept that, and then it pops up with your password page and you reset your password and you're done. It is so much simpler. It'll make it easier for our students' life. And then you go to the password page where you actually enter your password in, and moving away from Duo, we're going to One Login Protect. It's One Login services that helps us with multi-factor. On the left-hand side, you see the One Login Protect. That's the mobile app. So if you have Duo on your phone, this is the app you'll install to replace Duo. Duo will stay in place. We have the contract through February of next year. We are going to retire it in fall of 2020. We're going to start with students and employees. We're going to start retiring in fall of 2020. So when you go through the process I'm going to mention in a few minutes, when you sign in the next couple of weeks, I want to highly encourage you to flip over to the One Login Protect. You can continue to use Duo. It will still work, but it is going away, so you might as well make the change now while you can. This is what the portal page looks like when you get in. You actually have your apps listed up there. If you're coming to one of the forum sessions, I go into a great bit of detail here, but basically, it's role-based. So if I'm a student and I'm a pre-admit, I get apply to UWG and I get sign up for a tour and I might get one other option. Once I've been accepted to the University of West Georgia, I get housing application. I get sign up for orientation. I get access to other applications. I can go into bandwidth. I can see my immunization status. I can see my status of my bill. I can see the classes I've registered for. As I move over to an enrolled student, I get access to things like Office 365 and other applications that students need because they're enrolled. If I'm not an enrolled student, someone who's been taking classes but are not currently in classes, they get a different set of applications based on that status. And if I move to inactive, I graduated, or I stopped attending, or for whatever reason I'm no longer active, I can still log in. I can apply back to the University of West Georgia, or I can go in and get my transcript. So this is going to make it much more seamless for our students in their entire life cycle to be able to get access to the applications that they need. So the rollout dates. So beginning on February 24th, which was 2 weeks from this past Monday, a week from this coming Monday, we launched our new students so that any student who has never had an account with the University of West Georgia, they will create their brand new account in One Login through a process we're working with admissions. I'm not going into a great bit of detail, but this allows them to create their DG0001 account. They'll sign into One Login, apply for the University of West Georgia, and then once they become a student or get accepted, then they will have their full account and get access to all the other applications. The second launch date is the 25th, the day after. That's for the rest of the campuses. This is for all of them, for faculty, staff, and students. This will allow you to go in and log in to One Login itself and set your multi-factor authentication. You can choose to use Duo. If you choose to use Duo, it's just going to prompt you for your push, your text, or your phone call. But I highly recommend that you choose to use the One Login Protect. If you're already using the mobile app for Duo, just go ahead and download the mobile app for One Login, and you can use that and make that transition now. Also, students are going to be expected during this 2-week period of time to set up their alternate email address. This is going to be a self-help method for students. So with the requirement of MFA, one of the problems we deal with is a student, they're rushing into campus, they leave their phone in the dorm room, or they leave their phone in their car, they come in and they can't sign in because they have to have an MFA, right? So by using an alternate email address, they can choose to send me a code to my alternate email address. They can get the code from that secondary email address, and then they can sign in with it. We also have some other options to help students. They can call the service desk. We have support partners we're going to be working with so they can actually generate a code to help them to be able to sign in. But in the short term, the big initiative is to make sure that existing students get an alternate email address set up in this first 2 weeks. If they don't, the world doesn't end. It just means they can't help themselves. They need to be able to do that. To be able to do it themselves, they need to set their alternate email address. And then the campus launch is on March 10th, which is a little less than a month away. And these are the things that are going to be in place. So beginning on March 10th, bandwidth deep links. I think students are going to learn that, love this. So rather than just going to bandwidth and having to navigate down to all the different places, It'll say very clearly, see my bill, pay my bill, see my classes, register for classes. It'll have all those different types of links that take them explicitly to the place they need to go within Bandwidth. Recruit will be in there, which is how we apply to UWG. Campus Logic for financial aid. Google Apps. All Google Apps will begin to use one login as the sign-in tool, which means when you go to sign in, instead of seeing the Gmail login page, you see the one login page to sign in. Visuals in for orientation. My UWG is going to be changing a little bit. I'll show you that in a second. But it will become a sign-in portal where now you can actually go to that page without signing in. Now you have to sign in because it's going to look to see who you are and give you specific content based on who you are. GuildFind is a library, StarRes, Housing, TouchNet. There are still going to be some applications that do not have true, what we call single sign-on, that will take you to and have a separate login. I've got great news on CourseNet. We are working with UWG Online, and they're going SSO this summer, which means that there won't be a separate login. When you go to one login and you sign in, it'll seamlessly take you right into CourseNet. So that's going to be a great improvement for that initiative. Parking services, bookstores, studies abroad, and there's more that I couldn't list all of them. We've got a broad launch for the 10th. And then likewise for employees, Bandwidth, Banner administrative forms, the Google Apps, you see the rest of the list up there. So these are all the things that are going to be going live on the 10th. And it will be seamless for you in the sense that if you go to one of these sites and you try to log in, all it's going to do is take you to one login page, allow you to log in, and it'll take you right into the site. So you won't really have to change the things you're doing, but I think you'll discover that there'll be some benefits to going directly to one login and all your apps right there for you to log in. Any questions about this before I go to the next slide? Yes?
How does this affect when the students setting up their email account?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
When the students set up their email account, how does this affect them?
When you say set up their new account, when they get their UWG account?
Right, because previously they had to register and set their security questions.
That goes away. So what happens is when a student becomes a brand new student, so they're accepted and it rolls over, we actually, Jonathan and I have had this conversation, within a 5-minute period of time, it will create their account in Active Directory, update it in one login, create their email address, and when they sign into one login, Gmail will be set front and center. So they just click on Gmail and they can log straight in. And then we're working on this next piece, I'll show it to you in a minute, we're working on this next piece to make it more clear for students that once they've been accepted, there's a checklist we're going to go over, make it clear that sign in to my Gmail account or sign in to my email account. Other questions? Yes? Yeah, this will be at my, so it'll be dv0001 at my.wesco.edu. Yes. Other questions? Okay. I'll move to the next grand theme, and that is the new student checklist. So this is something that we've worked with admissions and other departments, housing and residence life, new student programs, health services, to help make it easier for students as they transition or they onboard to the University of West Georgia. So it replaces the current Go West checklist that is in Bandwidth, which is kind of hidden. You had to go kind of look and find. It wasn't very visually appealing. Now it's more visible, it's upfront, it's in their face, and they know exactly what they need to do. It also keeps the checklist accurate by dynamically updating, and it's based on the student type. So if I'm a dual enrolled student, I only see the things that are associated for dual enrolled student. If I'm a brand new first-time freshman, I only see the things that are associated with it. If I'm a transfer student, I only see the things that are associated with being a transfer student. Or if I'm a graduate student coming in, I only see those things that are associated with that type of a student type. And it also gives direct links to the applications as needed. So you can click on the link and it'll take you straight into StarRes if you need a housing application. Or it'll take you straight into Visuals In if you need to go for orientation registration. And it also focuses specifically on the requirements for onboarding. So when you see this list I'm about to show you, you're like, oh, I want to add some more things. The intent here is to make sure that students are doing everything they need to do to successfully onboard to the University of West Georgia. So it's more requirements-based than it is overwhelming and give them everything that they can do. Okay, does that make sense? So here's what it looks like. I apologize for the smallness, but there's a lot of information on here, and I want to kind of go through it piece by piece. So the first thing is it's personalized. So the student, when they log in, they're going to say, hey, it's talking about me. They're going to see their name front and center on the top. It also allows for multiple checklists. So the typical student will only have one checklist. I'm a freshman registering to come, been accepted to come to the University of West Georgia. But we also have scenarios where I'm a dual enrolled student applying for spring, but I've also applied for the following fall. So So they'll have a unique checklist for each one. So you can see that I'm a dual enrolled student, here's my checklist. I'm a freshman for the fall, here's my checklist. We also have the ability to provide the current status. You notice there's an exclamation mark, a checkbox, an empty box. We also have an overview box over there. So the student will be able to tell immediately, have I successfully completed this, or is there something I need to be aware of to take action upon? It provides direct links, so all of those receive orientation registration, financial aid awarded, financial aid accepted, etc. Those are links directly into the application to see their status. So if it's the housing application, it'll take them right into housing. If it's orientation, it'll take them straight to orientation. If it's the immunization, it'll take them to the immunization page so they can see exactly what they have and don't have there. So this gives the student much greater insight into what they need to do and where they need to do it. We also have these mobile boxes, so if you need more information about orientation, they click on that and it pops up information that the New Student Programs has given us to pass on to the students. New Student Programs, housing, financial aid, admissions, all those groups own the content on that page. So they can update that as needed to make sure it reflects the most current information for our students. This next piece is what I'm excited about, is this overdue as well as the upcoming deadlines. This is to kind of put the impetus on the students for them to know that this is something that needs to be done and I'm coming up on these deadlines. We've worked with each one of the groups on the left to be able to identify what those dates are, and these are term dependent. So we set the dates for summer 20, fall 20, spring 21, and so depending on when they're coming in, these dates adjust accordingly so they know if they're coming up on a date or not. And then we have the See My Bill function in here. One of the nice things we're adding there is, you don't see it on this display right here, but if they have a balance due, there's going to be a parentheses and red text there, or some color text that says, see my balance. So if there's no balance due, it's not going to say anything. They can still go see their bill. But if there is a balance due, it'll say, see my balance. So they know to click here to go see that they have some amount due for their bill. And then this is mobile friendly. I attribute that to the team at ITS. Bob, Chester, and Zach Lee are fabulous. They helped design all this, and they make sure this is ADA accessible and it works on a mobile device. So these are all what we call the checklist components. These are all the things that we're looking for right now. And you know what? One thing I didn't bring out, I don't see, oh, here it is. I didn't point out meal plans also. So if a student is required to have a meal plan, then it'll appear on there for them to go and select the meal plan that they have to take, they have to have at the beginning of the semester. So these are the items that are included in there. I'm done. Do you have any questions about this or comments or feedback on this? Yes?
This is fantastic. Is there a plan later to roll this?
Yes, thank you for asking that question. So the idea is, if this is version 1, version 2 is for continuing students. So that we create a checklist for continuing students so that you need to go see your advisor, you need to register for the next semester, you need to fill out your FAFSA, or whatever it is you need to do. The idea is that we'll come out with version 2 so that current students will also always have a checklist in front of them. And so we'll need help from that from the different departments around campus. So I am pumped about this. I don't know if you can tell, but I am really excited. And I think there's some other people around the room that's excited as well.
Woo! Go girl!
There we go. This is a game changer. I really believe it's a game changer for students coming on board at the University of West Georgia. This rolls out on March 10th when we go live with one login. And the reason why we have to match it up is because when they have to sign in to get to this, and we tied that to one login. So when March 10th rolls around, every student who has who's been accepted for an upcoming term will have this checklist in front of them so they'll know exactly what they need to do to finish that off. Yes? One login protect. Justin.
I'm not going to yell at them. But I guess I did want to just put out an idea that people should be thinking about, which is maybe the communication you already send to new students. I think this could be very revolutionary in thinking about this being a landing page for lots of people. So I know right now I've had the pleasure of visiting someone's inbox who's incoming institution, and they'll have like 55 emails in there, of which they can't make heads or tails. I think we might find that over time, some things could be addressed by simply directing this to this dynamic checklist. Some won't, and over time we might be able to add that alternative section. But just maybe look at your publications and really think, because what we have seen in admissions is we have a generation that's very focused on checking boxes and moving forward. And so if we can get them looking at this as a default, I think that we're going to see great success. And I just want to say to Dale that I'm really very thankful for all of your hard work. I know that it's a team of people, but I have to tell you that when you are surrounded by incredible people, it makes the work so much easier and so much more fulfilling. And I just want to again thank you from the admissions team and from the enrollment team about how you've changed the future of UWG with this solution.
Wow. Any other questions about this or OneLogin? So I'm going to tell you a secret about OneLogin. I want to clue you into a secret. It is live today, and it is out there. Please know we're still working in the back end to make it, to get everything working correctly and so forth. So if you come to one of the forums, if you've already signed up for one of the forums, and we have limited space, we're up in 302 and 303 tomorrow. So we don't have a lot more space for those. But if you find somebody in this group, how many have attended a forum or are planning to attend a forum? Raise your hand. So see these people, they'll have the URL to get to. You're welcome to go and sign in and set up your OneLogin multi-factor. But again, on the 25th of this month is when we'll send out email communication Monday, and then every Monday for the next 4 weeks to keep everybody up to date. All right, unless there's any other questions, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to present this one.
We're all going to have enough time to hike the Appalachian Trail whenever this is live, you guys. Here's Cassidy for CSA Interview Day update.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. All right. It's going to be fun. Thank you for the energy. I appreciate it. If you don't know, your second years are graduating. Okay? Shout out to them. Shout outs. You get it. You're doing it. Some of them are in comps right now, so they're not here this morning, and that's okay. We're thinking of you all. We were all there at one point. I do want to give you some important dates. Please don't feel like you have to write these down. If you want to do a Valentine and still listen and pay attention, great. I will be sending these out at the close of business today, so you'll have these in your inbox. What I want to talk more about is, one, the weekend is coming, and it is February 23rd and 24th. The days will look very, very similar to what we did last year. If you participated. And so on Sunday, I need you all, if you are recruiting for graduate assistants. And then because of that, let me stand on the stage because I can't see above the coffee. And so I know you can't see me. So I will need you there for the graduate fair. And I will need you there for a brief presentation on Sunday. And the time that I need someone from your office, no more than 2 people, because I'm also going to feed you lunch, I will be sent the email. So on Sunday, the 23rd, you'll do the presentation, which is no more than 2 minutes for each department, and I'll have a slide behind you with talking points. That will be sent out via email also, so you guys can prep for that. And then after that, we'll move into a graduate fair, okay? Grads will have the opportunity to come up, ask you questions about the assistantship. Maybe if they haven't met you yet, just introduce themselves or learn more about your department. Maybe an assistantship isn't for them, but you can never plant the seed too early for practicum experience, right? Because everyone always needs more people to work for them, okay? We always need more help. And then Monday is the big day. Monday is interview day, and we are so excited. So we have changed the location. We will be doing interview days in the Coliseum. And if you've ever been to the Placement Exchange, picture it like that. We're going to be around the track in the atrium area. And so it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll have tables set up just like we did last year, and I have basically a table per position right now for your department. I will reach out to department heads and current supervisors that are on my list to figure out if you need 2 tables or if you just want to go down to 1 table, okay? Questions so far? By this Friday in your inbox, you will get a list of your rough schedule and a resumes of all of those that have preference to interview with your team. You have an opportunity to go through those resumes and say, you know what, this person really doesn't meet what I'm looking for. And you will send me that back. And again, that will be laid out in the email to you guys, but that'll be sent out by hopefully no later than tomorrow. We had some people not send in the list correctly, okay? And then the next part that you need to know is when are we doing selection for graduate assistant or for CSA? That will be on February 26th. So I will need the department head and their designee or their designee to meet me, and I will send out a calendar invite to all of those people. And it's February 26th from 11 to 1. Okay? February 26th, 11 to 1. Again, not critical that no one's writing down this information because I am going to send out an email. What questions do you have? Emery?
Cassidy, if during the fair, do candidates have time to sign up for additional interviews if we have space available?
If the department has space available, then yes, they will be able to sign up for interviews. If there is space on the department's schedule, then the candidates can. You will not be permitted to interview during the mandatory lunch hour. Candidates want jobs, so they will work for 10 hours. I need them to eat. I need to eat. I get grumpy. They get grumpy. You know, you guys have to go and eat too, okay? So you will not be allowed to interview during the mandatory lunch hour. That will be the one rule that I added this year. More questions? We're clear as mud? Good, good. My email will have tons of dates. I do want to give a quick shout out to the 3 graduate assistants that are helping us. That's Jewel, Andrea, and Megan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They have done phenomenal work. In addition to Dr. Adams and Dr. Neese. So thank you so much for assisting us. Let me say this too about interviews because I think it's important. Please encourage or require your graduate assistants to help you in the interview process. It is critical that we are teaching these grads appropriate interviewing styles and how to hire because, like I just said, half the grads in this room are graduating this year. And they're going to be in some of our seats next year. We need to educate them and show them the way, and we have to model that. So have them participate in the interviews with you. Have them come to the grad fair and help you answer questions about the assistantships that they're in right now. They can talk about the lived experiences. And I'll tell you from a recruiting standpoint, there's nothing more powerful than hearing from someone that you want to be about their experience. Okay? So if you don't know how to do that or you have concerns, I'm happy to help you in that. My email is cassidy@westga.edu. So I, again, will send you an email by this evening with the details you need that I talked about today, in addition to some really great marketing materials that we've sent out to the grad students. Wonderful. I think that's all I have. Final call for questions? Beautiful. I'll hand it back over to Ashley.
4 quick updates, you guys. If you need Jake Berry's email for Recyclemania, it's jberry@westga.edu. If you leave your Valentine's notes on the table, Sean and I will campus mail them to those people. Just make sure your department is listed on it. You can also leave papers from the wellness information on the table if you don't need them, and we will recycle them. Sustainability. And please take muffins, water, and coffee with you before you go because we have some extras.
Have a great day, everyone.